Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the AEW Dynamite review show for Wednesday, December 22nd, the Holiday Bash. Tonight on the show, Sting, Darby, and CM Punk make quite a team. Ruby Soho advances to the TBS Tournament Finals, and a bunch of matches coming up for Christmas night. Rampage is the AEW Dynamite show on the Ringside Report Network. Let's do it. Indeed. This is the Ringside Report Network. We are talking AEW Dynamite. There's Johnny North. How are you, big man?
I'm well. Staying healthy, you know. Doing what you can right now in these tough times.
Tough times indeed. Especially tough if you're living in Canada or the province of Quebec, it seems like. I'm seeing packed arenas in the United States, and over here shows are getting canceled. So I don't really understand what's going on. I'm not really...
Postponed.
Postponed, but whatever. All sorts of things. You know, you can't have people watching things, right? You're not allowed to have people in attendance. Movie theaters have been shut down. Gyms have been shut down again here where we live in the province of Quebec. And, I'm seeing packed arenas in the United States, and I'm wondering, do they have the Omicron? Is it worse here? I don't really know. I don't really know, John. I'm not paying attention to that kind of stuff. I am not interested because it's depressing. I just live with whatever happens because I have no power over these things, you know? What is me knowing about all the situations going to do? I just see our neighbors to the south having packed arenas and shows going on. And here, nothing. Am I missing something?
Apparently New York's going to have more restrictions. Apparently it's coming as well because they actually have more cases than we do. So you'll see the restrictions just in certain areas. It depends where in the States.
Okay. Well, it's difficult for us here. It hasn't been easy. It's not been an easy road here with the pandemic, and it continues to be tough. But we are persevering. We are fighting through, and we are always here for you. As long as there's pro wrestling, we're still going to be here. Unless we die of COVID, which I would say is unlikely at this point. We're both vaccinated. They told me, get vaccinated, and you probably won't die. So I'm assuming I won't die of COVID. And I'm assuming you won't either. All right, so we'll be all right.
Chances are in our favor. We'll probably have to get another shot soon, though, I think.
Oh, yeah, I'll take as many shots as you want to give me. You got any steroids in that shot? Jack me up, baby! Give me all the experimental drugs you have. I don't care. Whatever it is, I'll take it. I'm a walking lab rat. Why not? It's fun. It's fun to be shot up with things. You never know what's going to happen. All right, let's move on to some pro wrestling, John, and what happened here on Dynamite. What'd you think overall of the show? Your thoughts, opinions? How do you feel? Did you like it? Positive, negative? I thought it was overall positive. I liked it. The main event was fun.
I thought the start was okay. You know, there were some parts in the middle, again, okay. They ended with the best stuff, which was the main event. I was very happy with the main event. I actually felt that the show went by very quickly. And then we got to the main event. I'm like, oh, this is why the show went by so quick. They gave so much time to the main event, which was not a bad thing. That was the best match easily on the show.
Yep, I don't mind Dynamite when they give the most time to the best thing. I think that's exactly what they should be doing. Just like last week, we had Hangman and Bryan Danielson covering half the show. The show was great because the match was great. Tonight, I think the show was really good because the final half hour of Dynamite, a quarter of the show, was dedicated to the Sting, Darby, CM Punk versus MJF and the FTR match, which was fantastic. It was a fantastic show. I thought it was very good. Rather, the match. The show I thought was all right, but the match itself, that six-man in the end, very, very good. Best match of the night, and one of the best six-man tags that you will see. Shout out to Doug Hepburn. Shout out to Anthony Plessia. Shout out to Angelo Contagonis watching us live. But I thought the six-man tag in the main event was very, very good. Doug Hepburn says, you guys helped us through the early days of COVID, and you're helping us through this wave. Well, thank you, Doug. let me tell you, you're helping me through this wave of COVID as well. Doug sent me some pretty cool action figures. Sent me the Kevin Nash Billy Gunn I was looking for.
Cool. And more stuff.
Yeah, I got this for Doug. This is for Doug that I'm going to send back to him. You send me cool stuff, I send you cool stuff. This little Britt Baker DMD going on, this is going to be for Doug. I picked up an extra one of these, so Doug gets my extra. And I also picked up a couple extra of these Bretts. I've got like 3 of these Bret Harts, so I'm sending one to Doug in exchange for what he sent me. So thank you, Doug. I got the stuff, and I'm going to be sending this stuff real soon to you within the next couple of days. Although I may wait till after Christmas because going to the post office a couple days before Christmas seems terrible. So I don't know, Doug. If you don't mind, I might wait till after Christmas, like the 26th or 27th to get this done because going to the post office before Christmas seems like a bitch. But you'll get it, Doug. Don't worry.
Good luck, with that. It's a holiday, isn't it?
I don't know. Probably. I'm Jewish. What do I know about these holidays? But thank you, Doug. Thank you for the lovely figures, and I'll be sending you some stuff real soon. And thank you, Johnny North, for popping by my home this afternoon. Unexpected surprise visit from Johnny to give me this sweet Christmas present. American Dragon is back. Bryan Danielson shirt. I had some Daniel Bryan merch, but this is my first Bryan Danielson shirt, so I'm very happy with this. Thank you, John. And then we exchanged Christmas gifts, and you're wearing my gift to you. Tell the people what you have on, Johnny. Tell us what you're wearing. Who are you wearing?
It's Ty Conte, one of my favorite wrestlers in AEW. I'm glad you got me that one. Appreciate it.
I love it. It looks good.
It's the only AEW shirt I think I have.
There you go. That's the only one you need. Ty Conte.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mainly just get independent people. I don't get too many big stars anymore. So yeah.
And she's as big as they get. Ty Conte. Your favorite.
Well, ever since NXT, I always thought she was one of the better women wrestlers. She just needed a chance, and she got an AEW. Shawn Michaels maybe not the best trainer in the world, but she found her way by herself.
She's pretty good. I like Ty Conte, and Johnny does too, and I'm happy that I could get you that sweet Ty Conte shirt. She's looking good on that shirt, and I'm happy we exchanged AEW shirts. This wasn't even prepared, Wasn't like you knew what I was getting you, and I knew what you were getting me. It was just like, hey, here's your Christmas present. Oh, it's an AEW shirt. Here's my Christmas present. It's an AEW shirt. I love it. AEW, baby. And apropos, we're wearing them tonight on the AEW Dynamite review show. Except my guy is more likely to become a world champion in AEW than yours. Just saying.
Oh, Ty's definitely going to become one of the champions.
You think?
I think TBS, I think there's a strong possibility. Even the AEW Women's World's title.
Ooh.
I think she could win that easily, too.
I would bet against that. I'd bet against that happening in the next 2 to 3 years, even. I don't think that happens in the next 3 years.
She's not going to win one of those 2 titles.
No.
Wow. Come on.
I don't think so. I don't see. They got depth. Jade Cargill's going to have a monster run with the TBS title. Britt Baker's going to run with the TNT or whatever world title for a while. Then you got Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb, Ruby Soho, Riho, Shida. The depth is, Ty Conte doesn't rank too high up there. Is she? I don't know.
Yeah, she's there.
Well, maybe. You might be right. But I would bet against that. I would say no. We should make that bet, John, but it's so long term,
2 3 years is your wow. I understand in the next year maybe not, but 2 to 3, wow, that's big.
By January 1st, 2025, if Ty Conte has not won either of the AEW championships, you owe me $100.
It's on. Yeah, sure. That's a great bet. I'll take that any day.
I never said I was going to give you $100 if she does win the belt. I never said that.
I knew it.
That was never part of the deal. No. I
See,
mean,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way then.
I don't believe in AEW's booking strong enough to make that bet. I think they may make the mistake of making her a champion at some point. So
It's not a mistake.
I don't know. She's in good with Sammy Guevara these days, I hear. So I don't know.
That's horrible.
What do you
That's
mean?
horrible.
What do you mean? That's horrible. Isn't it true?
I don't believe it is.
Oh, are you saying that's horrible because Angela said, "I can't believe you fell for that, Johnny." That's a good one. Are you saying it's horrible because Ty Conti should only have eyes for Big Johnny, or what are you saying? Like, so there's been a lot of controversy with Sammy Guevara online. People are saying because Sammy and his girlfriend broke up. I think they were engaged, and Ty Conti's been showing up. Yeah, that was on TV, right? They did that on Dynamite or something. Yeah, so Sammy proposed to his girlfriend a few months ago, and then they broke up. Of course, never propose in the ring because you'll never get married. Just ask Nikki Bella and John Cena. It just doesn't work. And again, it didn't work for Sammy Guevara and his fiance. They break up, and then people online are harassing Ty Conti and saying that she's the reason that they broke up. And then Sammy Guevara had to come out online and say, "Hey, we broke up, and me and Ty or whatever." I don't know if he even addressed Ty Conti, but he was saying that no other people had anything to do with our breakup and basically stop harassing Ty Conti, who seems to be maybe Sammy Guevara's new girlfriend, and that's why people online are harassing them. What do people care? Like, why are they so invested in Sammy Guevara and his ex-fiance's relationship? Why do people care so deeply about this stuff? I will never understand. Sammy Guevara broke up with his fiance. Well, that's too bad. I'm sure, they were happy at one point, and now they're not. So, hope they're all right. C'est la vie. What are you going to do? Who cares? What do I care? Did Ty Conti break up Sammy Guevara and his girlfriend? Maybe she did. Maybe Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara are a better fit than Sammy Guevara and his ex-girlfriend. You ever think of that, internet? Like, who cares? These things happen. People move on.
I think the reason why people care is because they have that series. Sammy Guevara does a series, whatever, on YouTube.
Yeah,
his own YouTube show.
Yeah.
And his ex was a part of that. I think she was on almost every episode. I never saw it, whatever, but I guess she garnered a fan base of her own. So, I think just her fans got upset about what happened. It's kind of natural that would happen. People are gonna have their own fans, and I think people just jump to conclusions. Unfortunately, that's the problem.
Whose fans?
I think she had fans because she was always on, right?
Who?
Sammy's ex, whoever.
She had fans? We don't even know her name.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean she had fans?
She's not my fan.
This is a thing now? You're engaged to a professional wrestler on AEW and you have fans? She probably has more fans than us, John. What is this world? Goddamn, pal. What? She has fans?
Well, it's not impossible. I mean, if
I'm
you have
surprised.
a YouTube series, and he's popular, and she's always on it, or she was, right?
Oh,
so
was she on
sense.
it? I never really watched his vlog, Sammy's
I didn't
vlog.
watch it either, but
I've seen a couple episodes, but I didn't know she was on it. Okay, so that's why she has fans. That makes more sense. I thought she was just known as Sammy's fiance, and she had fans off of that, which is strange. But if she's on the vlog, I guess, that's how Marco Stunt came to popularity, I think. Or maybe, I don't know. Definitely how
indie shows.
Fuego del Sol became a person that exists, right? He's a Sammy Guevara man, right? He's Sammy's friend.
That's what it seems.
No Sammy tonight. We didn't see Samuel Guevara, which is fine. We saw some other stuff. The main event was... Did we see Samuel Guevara?
They did a promo package thing to hype the whole match with Cody on Saturday.
Yeah, but he didn't actually speak or wrestle.
Hey, he did. He did a promo. He talked about it.
I thought that was just a video package. Was he in it?
No,
I didn't really pay attention.
New stuff. Okay.
I couldn't care less. Sammy Guevara has been the worst TNT champion. His matches are good, but I don't care about him for some reason. I don't know. I don't understand. He hasn't feuded with anybody that's mattered. What's he done?
He wrestled Tony Nese. I remember that. And
He
I
wrestled
think he's already
his
wrestled.
Jay Lethal match was very good. The Tony Nese match was
Right?
all right, but
Didn't he wrestle Ethan Page? I'm pretty sure he already wrestled Ethan Page.
I don't know.
That was about it.
Like
Yeah, he hasn't
Darby
done
was
much,
good,
really.
you know. Yeah, he hasn't done much. They haven't booked him that well. It's not really his fault, but I don't know. Who's dropping a super chat? What are they saying? Doug Hepburn saying, Johnny, you watch all AEW Dark matches? So many. You don't, right? You don't still watch all of AEW Dark?
I saw Dark on Tuesday. I didn't see Dark on Monday.
Which one's that? Elevation or regular?
Elevate. I saw regular. I didn't see Elevation.
Dark regular or dark elevation? Like, it's so ridiculous.
Well,
Why
there
did they
actually is a
name
huge difference
their show Dark Elevation? It's so weird.
because it's kind of like a stepping stone kind of thing where it's like Dark is like pretty much like the Impact Zone is where they have those shows,
Yeah.
and Dark Elevation is pretty much the matches they have before Dynamite goes live.
So why not just call it Elevation? Why does it have to be Dark Elevation? It just sounds weird. It's a terrible name for a wrestling show. Who wants to watch AEW Dark Elevation? It sounds ridiculous. It sounds like an elevator where the lights have turned out, right? You're in the dark. It's like the Tower of Terror. Disney's Dark Elevation. That was one of the names that Disney passed on for Tower of Terror. Dark Elevation. It's ridiculous.
What?
AEW Dark, like, it made sense at first. Like, okay, fine. Then they're like, let's do another show. What do we call it? How about AEW Elevation? That's all right, but we need the dark in there. Dark Elevation. It's dumb.
Well, because the way Dark is now is different, and Dark Elevation is pretty much how Dark used to be, right? It was always the matches before Dynamite started or after it ended. So now they kind of switched it, but it's still the same thing in a sense. So they just needed to make some sort of difference. Like, this is Dark. This is really its own little thing.
So what?
Elevation.
So why didn't they just keep that show that they do in the arenas Dark, and then that studio show that they do, call that Elevation or AEW Next or, you know, something, AEW Main Event, AEW Worldwide, AEW Saturday Night. You know, I mean, AEW Saturday Night would actually be fantastic. AEW Worldwide would be good too. Yeah, I know. But remember WCW Saturday Night? That was a good wrestling show. AEW Worldwide? Worldwide was like a shittier version of Saturday Night. Right? Like Saturday Night was kind of A, and like Worldwide was like way shittier. WCW did a lot of shows back then. Like they had their Nitro, they had their Thunder, and then they had Worldwide, and they had Saturday Night. It was all going at the same time. They had tons of wrestlers. Tons of wrestlers. Are all those Worldwides and Saturday Nights on the network?
You'd have to tell me. I only get the network off Sportsnet. And Sportsnet, it's pretty much just the pay-per-views. It's not the actual streaming.
Weak stuff. What the hell were we talking about? WCW Worldwide, AEW Dark.
I think we're talking about Dynamite, but we haven't talked about Dynamite at all.
Let's talk about Dynamite. Punk comes out dressed like Sting with like face paint and everything. Sting had like CM Punk themed face paint. Punk had not only Sting face paint but also Sting tights, which was pretty cool, like the Sting pants. I like Sting.
That was awesome.
I like that. I like how they dressed alike. Darby had some face paint going too, like Sting. Looked like he had some color in his hair too, like some pink. It was cool. I liked that. I liked how they were all dressed like a team. MJF and FTR, they called themselves MJFTR. They came out all in the yellow trunks. They came out dressed like a team as well. The match was fantastic. At one point, MJF decides to run away from CM Punk to avoid him. MJF was the legal man. Punk gets tagged in. MJF decides to bail out of the ring and just run away through the crowd. Punk chased him. MJF runs, disappears through the concourse, comes down through another aisle, runs down the steps. Punk's chasing him, comes through the crowd again, runs back into the ring. At no point is the referee counting out, though. Like, that was a little, like, the match was fun and everything, but was he?
Though. Like, when they got back, yeah, you could hear him counting.
How was that
but
not
obviously
10?
it was a slow count.
I mean, it's a very slow count.
Very slow count.
The match was fun. A couple, weird things, though. They cut to the timekeeper's table at one point, and it was just tipped over. And they're like, what happened? And the commentary had no idea. And then they cut back to it later, and Darby's, like, down, and MJF's just, like, peeking out from behind the commentary table. But then later on, we see the replay, and it was Darby who did, like, a dive on MJF. So MJF was not selling as hard as Darby was, even though MJF took the brunt of that attack. That was a weird moment. They didn't get a lot right there. But whoever was directing that shot, like, they missed it. They totally missed it. Sting tossing MJF out of the ring, and MJF landing on his head was pretty nasty. FTR tried to catch him, but it did look like MJF just kind of planted on his head, which was nuts.
Well, it felt like they kind of broke his fall a little bit. So
a bit.
I mean, I think he landed on his head, but it would have been much worse if they weren't there. So that kind of helped him. But it also seemed like he was okay afterwards. He was able to get in the ring. It didn't seem like he showed much effects from it.
He looked all right, but it was scary for a minute there. Sting diving off the top rope onto all of FTR and MJF was fun. It looked safe, though. I mean, he jumped off the top rope. He's a 63 or 64-year-old guy jumping off the top rope, so you never know. But Sting looked good in this match. He didn't do much, but what he did was enough to look impressive. Like this dive off the top rope. It wasn't the craziest dive you ever seen. He had 3 guys there to catch him. But just the mere fact that Sting is going to the top and diving to the floor is impressive. Because he's Sting. He's been wrestling forever. He's 63. And he didn't die. He wasn't seriously injured in this match. Sting survived and he seemed all right. The finish came when Punk hit the GTS on Cash? Dax?
No, Dax, yeah.
Dax. And then Punk hits his GTX on the Dax. And then Sting hits the Scorpion Death Drop, and Darby hits the Coffin Drop. Punk covers up Dax, and they get the win. I still don't like those names, Dax and Cash. It's a little... but the match was fantastic. Great stuff. Really good. Match of the night. By far, you will not get any argument from Johnny. I am deciding it is match of the night, and I believe that Johnny agrees. We agree, John. I mean, last week we agreed, obviously, because it was Hangman and Bryan, and it was, I think, match of the year. I saw Jim Cornette said it was the best AEW world title match in the company's history, and I don't disagree with that. I think that's a solid statement there. I believe that. It was a fantastic match. Match of the year, I would say. But this main event, match of the night, right, John? Got to agree with that. Not going to have any debate. What else was good on this card compared to this?
Well, I said it already. Yeah, it was easily the match of the night. Like, to me, it felt like they built up to this match. Like, all the other matches were kind of just little things in between until you got to the main event. And it's the reason why it got the most time, because it needed the most time. It was the most important thing on the show. It had the most star power on the show, and you could tell the people were into it right from the start.
It was really good. Really good stuff. I expected it to be good. Punk continues to be great. Darby, MJF, FTR, even the Stinger. I've been critical of Sting still wrestling at this point, but I like the way he's being used by AEW. It works. Sting is working. this could go on
shows
for
still
as
use
long
for him.
as... Yeah, that's it. There's still a way to use him. And when he's in a match, it does feel bigger. And, you know, CM Punk dresses up as Sting. Like, you could tell it's fun for him. CM Punk probably never expected to have this tag team match. Like, this is a weird tag team that could only happen right now at this moment in AEW. In 2-3 years, Sting might be fully retired. Punk might be fully retired. Who knows, right? But Darby is like the future, Punk is right now, and Sting is the past, and they all teamed up together in one match against a great team in FTR and MJF. Like, this is exactly what you want in a pro wrestling main event. On TV, you know, for a TV main event, it doesn't really get much better than this. Fantastic. Killer stuff. The show opened with Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy. The match was all right. Cole beats Orange after Bobby Fish comes out to distract the referee, which allows Kyle O'Reilly to show up from behind and take out Orange Cassidy. Kyle O'Reilly, of course, from NXT with the Undisputed Era. He had his WWE contract run out. He's gone from NXT. He shows up in AEW. A lot of people expected him to show up. And this is, I think, what I predicted last week, isn't it? When Adam Cole said that he's going to have a big surprise, a surprise gift for the Bucks on Dynamite. I said, oh, well, that's going to be Kyle O'Reilly. And it was. And Kyle came and helped his whole Undisputed Era buddy, Adam Cole, get the win. I did say this last week, right?
Yeah, you did. And yeah, it happened. Like, for me, it's not a big deal. Like, it's nice to see Undisputed Era, but it's not like, wow, I really got to see this kind of thing. Like, maybe once they have that match, if you do Kenny and the Bucks against Undisputed Era, sure. But we're not there yet. It seemed like they're still friends with the Bucks for now, so it feels like they're all still heels, or yeah. But we're going to go through that whole, like, oh, are we friends? Are we not friends for a couple weeks? So nothing really is going to happen for a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah, but eventually you know where we're headed, right? And,
yeah, when we get there, sure, but...
And you could say that it's not that impressive, and I'm not super hyped because I was never a huge fan of the Undisputed Era, and Kyle O'Reilly is cool, but I'm not a huge fan of his. You know, I think it's cool that he showed up. But, when Dynamite started, it was the Wednesday Night Wars, and they were going up against NXT that was headlined by these three guys who are now in AEW. Like 2 years later, the whole Undisputed Era is in AEW. If I would have told you that at the beginning of this Dynamite show, I don't know if you would have believed me. I think it's just interesting, and it's from a historical perspective, when we look back on this time, I think this will be meaningful. The fact that the WWE and NXT was headlining their shows with Fish, O'Reilly, and Cole. Cole was one of their biggest stars. He was long-reigning champion. At one point, you thought that they had hopes for him on the main roster. They put him on SmackDown one night, and he beat Daniel Bryan. Clean. So you thought that the WWE was going to do something with these guys. 2 years later, they're all in AEW. And the guys that were leading the charge of AEW, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they are likely to become their first opponents, which I think is interesting. From a historical perspective of AEW and their run, I think having the Undisputed Era all jump ship from NXT to AEW 2 years after they were the headlining act of NXT, I think it says a lot about AEW, but also about NXT and their direction and the WWE's, future and how they're developing new stars right now. Totally different than what it was a couple of years ago. The black and gold brand has been it's now whatever, the polka dot brand or whatever they have going on there. But
thank you.
I think it's real interesting. Shout out to the members. People becoming members. Ray Cruz, Rob Cluse. Shout out to Rob.
Good
Shout
stuff.
out to Ray. Become a member. Join.ringsidereport.net. Click that join button beneath me. Appreciate it. Supporting the Ringside Report Network. I think it's interesting that these guys are now in AEW. I think it's meaningful. It may not mean anything, for us personally, and I get that, and I'm with you on that. Like, yeah, all right. And I'm not even that excited for the Bucks and Kenny versus Cole and the Undisputeds, But,
Right.
But, you got to acknowledge that it is interesting from the perspective of the Wednesday Night Wars, and this is really the final nail in the coffin, right? I mean, NXT moved to Tuesdays, but these guys showing up in AEW altogether is significant.
Well, there's a lot of potential what could happen here because they were the best group in NXT. So you wonder what they could pull off here. But again, we'll wait and see how it works out. You're still missing Roderick Strong from this group, so it's not complete in a sense. But, 3 of 4 is still pretty good, and you can still do something with that. But again, wait and see. Like, they've had a lot of talent, but not everyone can always be on the shows, too. So that's another thing.
Kyle O'Reilly attacking Orange Cassidy, allowing Adam Cole to hit the running kick for the 1-2-3 over Orange. O'Reilly attacking Orange after the match. Cole pulled O'Reilly off of him, which was weird. There was like a moment between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, and I think what they were trying to do there was acknowledge that the last time they were in a ring together, I think they were in opposition in NXT, right? Didn't they break up and turn on each other?
Adam Cole.
Right. So there was like friction in NXT between them, and I think when O'Reilly's attacking Orange and Cole pulls him off, they had like a moment there of animosity, right? Did you catch that too?
Yeah, and I think it was because of that, because the last time they were in a ring together, they were against each other, and Kyle O'Reilly's the reason why Adam Cole's not there in the storylines for NXT.
Right.
So
okay,
that was kind of why I think.
I don't think they needed to acknowledge that at all, though. I think they could have skipped that because I think for the AEW audience, it's a little confusing. For me, I kind of remember the NXT thing with O'Reilly and Cole, so I get it. But really, Kyle O'Reilly has just come in, helped Adam Cole win a match, and then attacks Orange Cassidy. Why would Adam Cole stop him from attacking Orange Cassidy?
It's just playing to the fact that, they know people watch other shows. It's just playing to that, and they understand that the last time these two were in the ring together, they were against each other. Like, they realize if people care about Kyle O'Reilly, they knew about what happened there.
But why do a thing? Why have a moment of friction when clearly Cole is the one who teased O'Reilly coming last week, knew he was coming. O'Reilly comes to the show, and he helps Cole win a match. Like, this is Cole's present to the Bucks, yet he has friction with him and doesn't want him to beat up Orange Cassidy beyond repair? Like, what? That didn't really make sense.
Right. I know. I'm not saying that does it always make sense to AEW? Hell no.
No.
There's always holes to every little thing.
But it could. I mean, why stop O'Reilly if you're Cole? Why? Like, they just could have not done that, and, everything makes sense. But, I don't know. They had to acknowledge the NXT thing because how about ignore NXT and their stupid storylines? Because who gives a shit? How about that? How about stick to what AEW is doing and ignore what NXT has done? But, of course, they can't do that because they put all three of these guys together right away. So they're clearly acknowledging NXT and what they did, which, there's something to be said about that. Is that a positive?
We'll find out.
Should they be together? I mean, it makes sense. When you see them, you figure, yeah, because they were together
O'Reilly
for
and
so
Fish's
long.
Team is good.
Yeah, I think just them as a team. I kind of thought, so Trent and Chuck Taylor come out, Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly take them out, and then the crowd was chanting Undisputed. The Undisputed Era posed. The Young Bucks come out, and they look a little mad, right? They looked a little like, I don't know about this O'Reilly thing. What's the deal here, Adam Cole? You get your own group or something? Like, they looked a little upset, and then Cole kind of looked like, what? I thought you'd be happy. And then Cole's like, let's get out of here, and he leaves the ring, and his guys follow, and the Bucks kind of stay in the ring looking a little annoyed. Why are the Bucks mad? They seem to be happy when it was Bobby Fish, right? They had no problem. But O'Reilly, it's like, too much.
Well, that's it. It's another person they don't really know, and it's not really one of their friends. So why is Adam Cole doing this? And it also just seems very obvious. Adam Cole's making his own little group to go against them.
But why would he be making his own little group to go against them? Wouldn't he be making his own group to make the Elite stronger? Why would this be to go against them?
Because he's not the leader of the Elite. He's just one of the guys. This is so he can take over.
Because he's an egomaniac and he must be the leader of a group? Is that what we're to understand? But now that Kenny's gone, hasn't Adam Cole kind of taken over the lead?
Yeah, remember Kenny said, like, not you, like...
The Bucks.
Right.
Right, that's true. He said, well, I'm gone, you got to take over, make sure everything's good and whatever, lead the charge. And Cole's like, yeah, I'll do it. And he's like, I was talking to the Bucks. So maybe that was the moment when Cole decided he needed to form his own group, bring back his undisputed friends. And it does seem like Kenny will come back to a feud against all three of those guys teaming with the Bucks again, which could be fun. Does this turn the Bucks and Kenny babyface again, or are the Undisputed Era guys the babyfaces in this?
It's tough. Adam Cole gets a great pop every time he comes out.
It's all about the boobs.
Super chat, super chat, super chat.
Yeah.
We'll talk about best entrances. I think he's got one of the best ones. There's no question.
Yeah, the crowd is always into it. Always. I think they're the baby faces. I think the Bucks and Kenny would be the heels whenever Kenny does come back. Shout out to Silent by Deadly dropping a super chat. Thank you, Silent. Silent by Deadly, the new super chat leader of the night, taking over from Doug. Thank you, my friend. So that was interesting. Not my favorite match of the show, but not a bad way to start the show. A new star on the roster, right? Good start. Not bad.
Again, I said it was okay. I wasn't like amazed by this, but it's like, okay, that's an okay start to the show.
Yeah. And then we have a great promo from Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson. I don't know what you thought about this, but I thought it was top-notch.
I thought it was good. Like, I like Bryan's, like, the way he came off in the match. Like, I mean, the promo, like, just how he's pretty much a jerk and backpedals when he feels like it. I like that kind of stuff. I felt Hangman, I didn't like the beginning where he's like, oh, I'm disappointed kind of thing. Like, I'm like, yeah, like, Bryan had a lot of good points there where it's like, yeah, you're just, like, entitled and millennial. Like, it does seem like you're coming off like that, like a little petty person.
Yeah.
But he turned it around, though, Hangman, at the end.
Yeah, Hangman did come back pretty well. Hangman started off, says, I'm disappointed because, I'm still champion, but after 60 minutes, I never felt like less of a champion because I couldn't get the job done. I couldn't defend the title. Thank you, Harold Schneider, dropping a super chat, the new leader of the super chats. Dropping the 15, says, have a safe, happy, and healthy 2022. Same to you, Harold, and the whole Harold Schneider family. Thank you, Harold, for supporting the Ringside Report Network in 2021. We're going to make 2022 even better for everybody watching. We had a great night on Saturday night. Was it Saturday? Maybe one of our most viewed videos of the year. So we appreciate you guys. Yeah, or ever. That was big, right? The Jake Paul brings views. People love that guy. I don't know what's going on with him, but people love Jake Paul. Congratulations to him on another beautiful knockout of Tyron Woodley. Amazing. Hangman Page. I just said Jake Paul so that we could get more views. Like, that will add like 20 to 50 views on the show just because I said Jake Paul. Jake Paul! Jake Paul's the best.
You got to add him in the title of the video.
Yeah. AEW Dynamite review. Jake Paul. Jake Paul versus
There you
Bryan
go.
Danielson? Question mark. Jake Paul, next AEW champion. Jake Paul. That just helps. Helps the algorithm if you say Jake Paul a million times. Man, that guy's cool. Winning all the fights. He's 24 years old.
He looks good.
It's crazy. 24 years old. He's knocking out Tyron Woodley. Sky's the limit for this kid. It's nuts. Hangman Page, disappointed. Bryan Danielson comes out, calls Hangman the entitled millennial cowboy, mocking Hangman for being disappointed, says the fans are the ones that should be disappointed because Bryan kicked Hangman's ass for 60 minutes and he's not the AEW champion. Bryan says he's not here to cry about his feelings. Hangman only survived 60 minutes last week because Bryan hurt his leg a bit in the John Silver match the week prior, but he's not going to make the same mistake this time. He's not going to wrestle next week or the week after. He's not going to wrestle until January 5th on Dynamite when we get the rematch. First Dynamite of the year, first Dynamite on TBS. Bryan versus Hangman for the AEW World Championship. And he says if Hangman stalls for another 60 minutes on January 5th and we have no winner again, it will be up to the judges. Judges to determine the winner of this pro wrestling match, which we have seen in the past in pro wrestling. Not the first time that this has happened, but interesting stipulation that they add. Hangman says, I was thinking about a Iron Man match or a ladder match or an Inferno match, but I guess, if you want to do judges, okay, fine. Hangman says in the final seconds of the match, he had Bryan beat. He says, fine, we could do the judges if that's what you want, but it's not going to come to that. I'm going to beat you. The judges won't be needed, but let's get some old guys some paydays anyways, which I thought was a funny line there from Hangman. Hangman says, if the question is, can Hangman beat Bryan in 2 weeks? The answer will be yes. Oh, using the yes against Bryan. Illegal maneuver, Hangman. Illegal. Gimmick infringement. Stripped of the championship immediately. I'm kidding. Great promo, though, from Hangman Page. Awesome stuff. Great stuff from Bryan. This was the promo between these two that we needed. This was perfect. Perfect.
Well, I don't know about you, but this feels like it's going to be another tie, though.
And we go to the judges? We go to the judges' scorecard for a decision.
But I feel the judges is going to be a no contest. I think two of the judges, one judge will say Bryan, one judge will say... We don't even know how many judges there's going to be, by the way, too, so who knows? I'm just taking a guess here. This is going to work.
Let's say 3.
One will say Bryan, one will say Hangman, and the other will be undecided, so...
Undecided?
It's going to be another... Yep.
You mean a draw. I think one judge scores it a draw. Judge Bret the Hitman Hart scores the fight 48-47 Danielson. Judge Hulk Hogan scores the fight 48-47 Hangman.
It won't be Hogan.
And Judge Terry Funk scores the fight 48-48, a draw. There is no winner again. And then The Rock comes out and he beats everybody and he's the champion. And he says, fuck you, Roman Reigns. We're never going to do this match. I'm in AEW now. Suck it. No? You don't see
Booker T now, too?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Fantasy booking, man. Anything can happen. You think it'll be a draw? They'll have 60-minute draw again. Then they'll go to the judges, and the judges will give us another draw? That'd be annoying.
We'll wait and see what the judges are, though. I mean, if you think there's going to be a judge that might go more in favor of Bryan or maybe Hangman, I mean, we'll wait and see. Hopefully
Judge Brie Bella scores it 100-0.
Yeah,
Bryan Danielson. Judge Nikki Bella scores it 100-0. Bryan Danielson. Judge John Laurinaitis scores it 100-0. Bryan Danielson. Judge John Cena scores it.
It
Where's
should be
Brie?
interesting who they get.
Is Brie under contract in WWE? Could she show up once in a while? I would love to see Brie. Brie Bella would get so much heat for Bryan Danielson. I don't know if they realize how much heat she would get. Like this current Bryan coming out with Brie and like talking about how he's with a Bella twin and how you people are pathetic. You know, like just adding to his heel persona. Just having her walk out, I think, would be heat. I think the fans would just boo the shit out of Brie Bella, which is great. I'd love to see Brie. Brie mode.
It's not a bad idea. I just feel like it. I don't know if the timing works because didn't she just recently have another kid?
Yeah, at some point. I don't know. I don't follow these things. Not that. I think it's been a while. Because her and Nikki had a kid a while ago, right? They both had kids around the same time. They didn't have a third, did they? They just have two?
You would know more than I would, so.
Yeah, I think they had two. Like, I think it was a while ago. I think Brie's ready. I don't want to see her in the WWE. I want to see Brie Bella with her husband in AEW. Just walk him out to the ring for the World Championship match on January 5th. The heat. Just having Brie ringside help Bryan win. Oh, my God. Whew. That'd be big. Great promo from Bryan and Hangman. January 5th is the rematch. They didn't give it to Bryan last week. What do you think January 5th? A draw again? A draw again? I don't know if you can do that.
Wait on the judges.
Another 60-minute draw, and you lay it on the judges to call it a draw too? I don't know. I think you have to have a winner. I think you have to have a winner within the 60 minutes too. And it's got to be
Bryan.
Bryan.
Once they announce the judges, like, we'll wait and see. Like, why have judges if they're not going to do nothing?
I don't know. But if the judges are there, you kind of figure, oh, they have to do something. This is going to go to a draw, right?
Well, it depends who they get. I mean, if they get, like, the Rock and Roll Express, like, no offense to those guys, but, like, it's not a big deal, really, if they're there. I mean, it's cool, but they're not, like, you know, going to make or break this, really. It's just nice that they're there. If they get legends like that, you know, but if they get legends, like you say, they get, like, a Terry Funk.
Or Bret Hart.
They get, like, a Bret Hart. Even Brie, if they get something like that, those are difference makers. So then, like, you have to do something.
Well, Brie can't be a judge. That's not fair.
No, but you get what I'm saying, though. You get difference makers. You get people that are big stars.
Nia Jax.
Not so much, but
Judge Ryback scores it.
If they get him, like,
he was mentioned last week on Dynamite.
Again, not a difference maker. Like, it's not a big. Yeah, then you don't have to go to a draw because he's not. It's not a big deal.
Bryan Danielson and Cody Rhodes bullied Ryback to the point that he stopped traveling with them. He started traveling alone.
Daniel Bryan got bigger in WWE because he was training with Ryback?
Possibly. But he was also making fun. You've heard that story, right? Where Bryan Danielson told... Ryback had said something about taking Cialis to look bigger for Brock Lesnar or something, and Bryan kind of repeated it. It was like, what? And Ryback kind of meant it as a joke, but Bryan told everybody that Ryback was serious. There was a lot of things that Bryan would do to harass Ryback. Apparently, Ryback has said this, that Bryan and Cody were like bullying him, and it was pretty good. The stories are pretty damn funny. There's a table for three, I think, with Ryback and Bryan, and I don't think it's Cody, but it's somebody, right? It's on the network. It's very good. It's very funny. If it's still there, I don't know. Wardlow. Speaking of Ryback, Wardlow.
Okay.
Similar.
Ish.
You know. Not a huge difference. Wardlow hit 4 power bombs and beat Captain Sean Dean, whoever that is, in a squash match. And then Sean Spears smacked him with a chair a couple times. Sean Spears is one of these guys that looks better with a beard. He shaved his beard, is clean shaven. It looks a little weird. Get the beard back, Sean Spears. I don't like it. Wardlow.
Well, they're building him. I think it's probably going to wrestle Punk eventually. But they're building him, I think, also to probably split away from MJF, it looks like.
Do you think this guy has a huge upside? Some people talk about him like he's going to be the next whatever.
I mean, there's something there just because, he stands out in AEW. There's not a lot of big guys.
Yeah.
So he stands out because of that. But he's got to do more than just what he's doing. But right now he doesn't have to, right? So
to me, he has just stood out because he's a big guy, but I haven't really been impressed by anything he's done ever.
He hasn't really had the opportunities, I find. Like,
okay.
I think against Cody was good, but that was really early, I think, in his career. So he needs to have more matches like that, I think. Big-time matches.
This guy had a match tonight. He hit 4 power bombs. The 4th one was a struggle. All he did was he hit 3 power bombs, and then he could barely hit the 4th. And that was his whole match. And you're supposed to be a power guy. The fact that he was struggling to hit the 4th was a little disappointing. Like, really? This is all you had to do, and you could barely do it, and you look gigantic. His matches aren't great. His promos are non-existent. He's got a great look, I'll give you that, but I don't know, man. I feel like we're 2-3 years into this Wardlow thing, however long. Wardlow's a Dynamite original, isn't he? He's always been there. And, I've never really been that impressed.
Well, again, he's got to wrestle top-tier competition if he's going to get really good. You got to wrestle better guys. That's the main thing. Like, having job matches is nice. It makes you look impressive, but to become a better wrestler, he's got to wrestle top guys.
Yeah. But then he's got to wrestle top guys, and we have to watch that.
Well, then he has to excel, too. I mean, that's another thing, too. So, I mean, you can't have too many crummy matches against top guys because then you won't last.
We'll see what happens with Wardlow, but they're doing squash matches with him on Dynamite now. I'm seeing Silent by Deadly asking us about the Kavinder Twins. These are twin ladies that play college basketball, and they have been signed by the WWE in their NIL program. They're signing collegiate athletes now, and they're twins that play basketball, and I think they're kind of cute. That's their gimmick, That's why WWE signed them. So they got that going for them. Yeah, well, they're athletes, and they have a look, They're cute little blonde girls from Indiana or something. I don't know. Whatever. So there you go. They have been signed Silent by Deadly, so rest easy. You will probably see them one day in the WWE or at least on NXT, because they'll put anybody on NXT. I watched a bit of NXT last night. Pleasantly surprised to see the Phenomenal One show up. Cut a promo with some guy in a fancy shirt. I don't know who that guy was. I saw his name last night, but I cannot remember what it is. I'm going to say it doesn't matter what his name is.
Okay, Rocky.
Well, what was that? Did you see that, AJ Styles? He was like in NXT doing a promo with a guy. I think he's going to have a match, but I don't know who the guy was. I forget his name. You don't know?
Something Waller or something, I think.
Bryson Waller, something like that. Yeah. What I saw of NXT was not great. I did not love NXT. I didn't even like it.
Next week. It's next week, I think, because that's the big show, I think. The New Year's Evil thing.
It's a step down for AJ Styles that he has to appear on a B or C level show like NXT. Wardlow beats the Captain. Dan Lambert cut a promo from the crowd with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Dan Lambert says Tony Khan gives his buddies all the opportunities like Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes getting another TNT title shot while Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page sit around not getting the shot. Instead, Lambert says Tony Khan is so out of touch that he even sent Dan Lambert out here to get people to cheer Cody, while Cody is a bigger dick than he is. Which I thought was a fun promo from Dan Lambert, but a bit strange. Like, he's a heel, and he's like, I'm out here feuding with Cody because everybody hates Cody, but people obviously hate me more than anybody, so Tony Khan has started this feud with me and Cody. I've been sent out here to talk about Cody so that people cheer Cody because everybody hates me so much. But actually, Cody's a bigger dick than I am, so it's not going to work, and Tony Khan is an idiot. But Tony Khan actually did send Dan Lambert out there to cut a promo on Cody so that possibly people would cheer Cody. But then Dan Lambert at the end of his promo kind of exposed that fact and said, yeah, I'm only out here so that, you people will cheer for Cody because they're trying real hard to get people to cheer for Cody, and it's not working. So they figured against Dan Lambert because everybody hates Dan Lambert, right? Right? Everybody hates me. But actually, Cody's a bigger dick than I am. So fuck you, Tony Khan, sending me out here to do your dirty work. It was fun to watch, but also strange. Like, was it a kayfabe promo? Was it a shoot promo? What the hell was that? It was weird, but I liked it. I like Dan Lambert.
Well, I was just playing up to his character. It made sense that he would say something like that because he's pretty much been doing that about how, like, this is the way AEW is. He sees it through these eyes, so it made sense. It also seemed like it was like breaking a fourth wall in a sense, but
right.
I liked it. I don't think it really hurt what they're trying to do, so I don't mind it.
What are they trying to do?
Well, they're having a feud with Cody and Sammy Guevara at the same time.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So expect them to maybe interfere in the match on Christmas?
Oh, I highly expect it.
Okay. Rampage coming up Christmas night. 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Christmas night. A special Christmas Saturday edition of Rampage. Not doing a Friday Rampage. And we're not doing a Friday show either because it's Christmas Eve. So this is our last show of the week. At least for myself and Johnny. I'll be back tomorrow night for Ringside Report MMA. But Rampage on Saturday, we have Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT title. Jungle Boy versus Isaiah Cassidy. Hook versus Bear Bronson. Everybody loves Hook, right? Takes on Bear Bronson of the Bears. Leela Hirsch versus the alien Chris Statlander. And that's all coming up on Rampage this Saturday. Elsewhere on Dynamite tonight, we had Britt Baker doing a backstage interview talking about beating Riho when they wrestle. DMD doing her thing. It's fine. Nothing special there. The Owen Hart Cup video package aired. A package about Owen Hart, different wrestlers talking about Owen and their love for Owen. And they're going to do a Owen Hart Cup tournament for men and women. And the finals will take place at Double or Nothing at some point in 2022. When is Double or Nothing?
I want to say April.
Oh, okay. So that's not too far away. Actually, last year was end of May.
Well, that'll be May, I guess.
Last year it was May.
But tournament
30th.
Tournament should start before then because it's the finals at the pay-per-view, no?
Yeah. AEW Double or Nothing 2022 will be in Las Vegas.
I think it's almost always in Vegas. No, they try to make Double or Nothing almost always in Vegas because it's the whole Vegas theme.
So it should be, I guess, in
Obviously.
May or something in Vegas. And, so the Owen Hart Cup. That's cool. We love Owen Hart here. We're Owen Hart fans. Not bad.
Yeah, it's great. Owen Hart appreciation. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
I'm all for that. It's great. It's just, it feels like it's going to be a while before we get to there. But it's okay to give us like a heads up about it.
Yeah, it's good to promote Owen, and we'll probably get some Owen Hart action figures out of it, so I'm happy. Owen Hart merch, that'll be good.
Well, just publicity too. Like, there's a lot of people that grew up and never knew him, so it'll be great for those people to finally find out more about him.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of the Rocket Owen Hart growing up, and it's good that his memory is still alive, and AEW talking about Owen, and hopefully these tournaments will be good, and they'll mean something, and they'll be prestigious. They'll have value in AEW. Speaking of tournaments, Ruby Soho is now in the final of the TBS title tournament. She beats Nyla Rose. Lots of interference from Vicky Guerrero, but Ruby perseveres. Injured her shoulder at one point, selling that shoulder injury. She's all right, but she beats Nyla after hitting her finisher pinfall, and Ruby Soho now advancing into the finals. Bad news for Ruby Soho, nursing that injury, because she's going to be taking on that bitch in the finals, Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill versus Thunder Rosa, semifinals set for next week on Dynamite, and I do believe the finals of the tournament will be on the first ever TBS Dynamite episode in 2 weeks' time on January the 5th in Newark, New Jersey. So I think this set up everything the way I wanted it to go, Johnny, with Ruby Soho in the finals, babyface Ruby setting up for heel Jade, and Ruby also with an injury to clear the way for a victory for Jade Cargill in the finals to become the first ever TBS champion. I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely like that's what's going to happen. But tonight, it was a very physical match. I wasn't a fan of the interference in the match. Wasn't a fan of the use of the chair in the match. But, no problem with the ending for it. The ending was fine.
It was a good match. The only thing I really had a problem with Vicky's there. She's got to interfere.
Yeah,
right?
But in front of the ref, though, I don't like that.
Was it in front of the ref? I don't know. AEW refs, There's no disqualifications in AEW.
Well, they made the whole thing because the chair was incidental. And yeah, sure, fine, whatever. But they're just, they say there's DQs, and yet clearly there should be DQs, and they don't do them. But they just make the refs look bad in the end.
I thought the funniest part of this match was when Nyla Rose attacked Ruby Soho at the beginning. Ruby was kind of waving. Yeah, Ruby was waving to the fans, and Nyla attacked her. And then Ruby could not get her jacket off, and Nyla had to help her and pull the jacket off. It was stuck on her wrist. Why was that jacket so tight? Why could she not get her jacket off? Ruby was legit struggling to get her jacket off at the beginning of that match. It took way longer. And then when Nyla finally ripped off the jacket, the fans gave a golf clap, hey, you got the jacket off. Good for you. They're making fun of her. Whew, that looked bad. Ruby Soho almost got defeated by her own jacket tonight.
Yeah, well, that's another reason why they should never ring the bell before the wrestlers are ready, because it doesn't look right. But whatever. But another thing too, when you come out, you get wet pretty easily. Just coming out the lights, you get wet. So I think it was probably just all the sweat, and then just tugging around. It's harder to get it out.
How tight are those the cuffs on that jacket? How tight?
Obviously, way too tight.
Way too tight. I don't understand why that jacket is so tight that she couldn't get it off. And it was stuck on her wrist, and when Nyla Rose pulled it off, it looked like it hurt. It was so tight. It was ah! Stuff started flying off. I think shit flew off the jacket or her wrist or something. I don't know what was going on. But it was bad.
The problem is too, they probably just thought, oh, this would be a good idea, but didn't actually practice it or think it through. And that was one of the things where it's you actually want to practice this because, yes, something like this can happen. They'll learn for next time now, obviously, but that's another thing too. Like when you have like your costume, whatever, make sure you know how to use it correctly, and understand too, if it gets wet or anything, there might be problems.
Ruby Soho versus the Jacket should be her next match next week.
Well, that's Botchamania already, but
Yeah, right? Oh, struggling to get that jacket off. And then she beats Nyla Rose. I mean, Nyla should just become a Jacket. She might win more matches. Malachi Black beat Griff Garrison with a half crab submission. Made him tap to a half crab. That's embarrassing. That's just pathetic.
half crab, it was Lance Storm's finisher. It was fine.
Yeah, all right, but come on. When's the last time you saw a guy win a match with a half crab? Malachi holding on to the submission after the match. Brian Pillman Jr. rushed in, pulled Malachi off of Griff Garrison. Didn't attack Malachi. Just, the guy who sprays black mist in your manager's face and leaves her blinded and gone from the company when he is assaulting your tag team partner after the match. You just gently pull him off like he's a friend and shove him aside. And you definitely don't expect him to kick you in the face, which he did immediately. How dumb is Brian Pillman Jr., the character? Because, this is a ruthless demon man in Malachi Black who sprayed black mist that blinded your manager. He's now applying a submission hold after the bell on your tag team partner. You don't kick him in the head. You don't punch him. You just grab him and make him go away. And then he's still there and he spin kicks you in the face and knocks you unconscious. Brian Pillman Jr. had that shit coming. The fans kind of cheered for it, as they should. What the fuck?
Well, to me, it looked like he tripped, and I think he just tried to cover it up by doing a push. I think he was supposed to hit him, but because he tripped, I think he just lost his footing, and then just used the push actually to gain his balance back. That's what it looked like to me.
Well, whatever happened, it looked like shit, right?
Well, yes, it did, but it happens. You live and learn.
It was bad. It was real bad.
Yeah. I'm not going to deny that.
Matt Hardy and Private Party cut a promo on the Jurassic Express, and then the Jurassic Express guys, just Jungle Boy and Christian. Luchasaurus didn't actually speak. He did a roar at one point. They did a backstage promo there. I like the Jungle Boy, Christian, Luchasaurus versus Matt Hardy, Private Party possibility. Have they done that match as a six-man on Rampage that I just forgot about? I like the possibility of Christian and Matt Hardy doing a thing again. I like that.
I feel like they did something with the Butcher and the Blade, possibly, but I think that was about it. I don't think they've done it with Private Party, at least.
So, let's do it.
I guess
makes sense.
It's gonna happen.
I guess it's going down.
I wasn't a huge fan of the whole pound that ass they kept saying during the promo all the time.
Yeah,
it's not the greatest line in the world. They can come up with something better than that.
Matt Hardy says that Isaiah Cassidy is going to pound Jungle Boy's ass and injure him. And then their number one contender status as for the AEW tag team titles will be deleted. That's the whole feud. Matt Hardy wants Private Party to be the number one contenders for the Lucha Brothers tag team titles, and the Jurassic Express are the current number one contenders for the tag team titles. So to settle this, they're going to have a singles match on Rampage, which, I mean, a tag team match would make more sense, but does Mark Quinn not wrestle anymore? I feel like he used to wrestle a lot on Dynamite, and I haven't seen him in
he's
months.
Injured.
Is he?
Yeah, there was a report about him being injured.
Somebody should tell Matt Hardy, because he wants him to challenge for the tag team titles. I don't see that happening. He's injured, Matt Hardy.
Well, I think it's very clear that, Isaiah Cassidy's not going to win against Jungle Boy. I mean, Jungle Boy rarely loses, so
yeah,
I think that's fair to say. Private Party's not getting that title shot.
I agree. It's just a pointless match to have on Rampage, but hey, they got to fill Rampage with something. Is it a 2-hour Rampage on Christmas? Because it feels like it. They've announced a ton of matches.
Unless there's a lot of really 20-second matches, I guess. We'll wait and see.
They've announced 4 matches for this show. I guess they could do 4 matches in an hour. Jungle Boy versus
really
Cassidy, quick. Hook versus Bear, Leela Hirsch versus Stat, and Cody versus Sammy. I could see that being done in an hour, hopefully. We'll see. I'll watch that on Saturday night. Next Wednesday night on Dynamite. Quite a Dynamite they've set up already. Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz taking on Daniel Garcia and 2.0. Thunder Rosa versus Jade Cargill in the semifinals of the TBS title tournament. Jim Ross returning to the broadcast booth after undergoing skin cancer treatments. The voice of pro wrestling back under the black hat next Wednesday night on TNT. And Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends, Trent and Chuck, take on the Undisputed Era. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole Baby. Undisputed Era back together, taking on Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends next week on AEW Dynamite. Damn. They're wasting no time to put that together, right? Putting those 3 together in a team right away. Let's go. Look, they might not be our favorites, John, and I'm not that hyped for what they do, but they do have a lot of fans. And they got quite over on NXT, and now AEW has them as a complete act. I think Bobby Fish is more valuable now with Kyle O'Reilly than he was before.
I mean, it's great. That's fine. I'm just, I was not interested when they were in NXT. I'm not that interested now kind of thing. So, I mean, it doesn't really change much for me. But, I mean, this match eventually versus the Elite, sure. But, again, we're not there yet. So, I mean, it just feels like we're just building towards that.
Yeah, and I think we are. But it depends when Kenny comes back. Any word on when Kenny's coming back?
I mean, Meltzer said February, but, I mean, this is kind of a serious injury, if not mistaken. Didn't he have, multiple surgeries or something? So I wouldn't expect he'd be back in a couple months.
Yeah. AEW will definitely change when Kenny and Moxley and Jericho come back, right? 3 big players that are not on the show right now. And the show is still good.
Well, they have enough people. They actually don't need those 3 guys, to be honest. It just shows you how packed it is already.
Yeah. Yeah, they are acquiring tons of talent, and they acquired a new one tonight with Kyle O'Reilly. So, fun times if you're an AEW fan for sure. Angelo wants to know if we're going to do a WWE and AEW year-end review next week. I don't think so.
I feel like it has to be like a separate show if we did that.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to do that because we just, the wrestling keeps on going. There's no time to sit back and review. Maybe at some point we'll do a match of the year, and maybe on our day 1 post show we could talk a little bit about the year. But I think we'll be reviewing day 1.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. Again, that has to be its own separate thing because that's a lot because you have to take in the whole year. I mean, a lot happened this year.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, match of the year would be Bryan and Hangman. Wrestler of the year would be Bryan. TV show of the year would be Dynamite. Pay-per-view of the year would be All Out. If we're talking WWE, pay-per-view of the year was probably, I don't know. It wasn't a great year for WWE.
They had some good pay-per-views though.
Did they? What was your WWE pay-per-view of the year? The Rumble, maybe?
I really liked the Rumble this year. Yeah, the Rumble was fantastic, I thought.
So long ago. I don't remember. Did I like it?
I think you liked parts of it.
Rumble. Yeah, it was all right. Edge won and Roman won. Edge. Oh, yeah, Roman and Kevin was good. Edge won the Rumble, which was all right. Bianca won. That was all right. Yeah. Yeah, the Rumble was not bad. Maybe the Rumble would be the pay-per-view of the year. Crown Jewel was not bad. I remember it was pretty jam-packed with stuff.
I felt like, some things were good and some things were just like, well, we're just doing the match, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. It was not a great year for WWE. Not a great year.
SummerSlam is a bit of a mixed bag, too. It's tough. It's tough. You really have to look back at WWE, a lot of it.
Yeah, they do so much programming. It's easier with AEW because they do 4 pay-per-views a year.
Super chat.
But I would say, yeah, I don't know. Tough for WWE. Match of the year in WWE, again, tough. But I'd say probably the triple threat, Roman, Edge, Bryan at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's definitely up there.
I'd say that's the match of the year. Wrestler of the year in the WWE, I'd say would be Bryan. Wrestler of the year in AEW would be Bryan. Wrestler of the year overall would be Bryan. Says the guy wearing the American Dragon t-shirt. Just saying. Might be a bit biased, but that's my pick.
I feel Edge was really good in WWE this year.
He was good.
Like, to me, I felt this was more like his comeback year than it was the year prior, actually.
His matches with Seth were very good. His match at WrestleMania was very good. I think this is my favorite year of the Edge return, for sure. Edge had a great year.
Right. Yeah.
Edge had a great year. Definitely in the running for Wrestler of the Year. Surprised you're not throwing your boy Roman Reigns in there. I know how much you love Roman.
Well, Roman's fantastic. There's no question about that.
I could question. I question.
Okay, fine. You could question it,
I
but
don't think he's fantastic. So yeah, I question that, but that's okay.
All right, but it's tough though. Again, like I have to go back through. I'm just looking at like other guys. Like, yes, there's Roman, but there's also Edge though. I don't think you can count Edge out whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I think Bobby Lashley too. Like,
Ooh.
but overall maybe not the best, but he still had a good year, Bobby Lashley.
Booking wise, he did. Match wise,
He did have some good matches here and there.
big year for Big E.
Like, there was a good match with Drew, if not mistaken. I want to say it was like a 3-way or something. I think it was with Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
That was really good, actually.
I'll tell you, Sheamus is one of these guys that's underappreciated, but he had a hell of a 2021. Consistently.
It's just the injuries.
But the matches were so damn good for him this year. Sheamus had a hell of a year. Damian Priest had a hell of a year.
He did all right. Again, I think he got hurt as well because there was a while like he was like gone.
Yeah, but he's had some really good matches. He worked on Raw this week, and it was fantastic. Who did he wrestle on Raw this week? God damn.
You watched Raw, you have to tell me.
I know. It was really good, too. Fuck. Well, now I have to go back and...
Well, we can do a year-end review thing another time. We don't have to do it tonight. Don't worry.
I just want to know who Damian Priest wrestled on Raw this week. Damian Priest. Come on, somebody, guys. Give me a Damian Priest Raw December 20. Who did he work? Dolph Ziggler. Thank you. Dolph Ziggler. Very good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Very good. Damian Priest is such a good wrestler. He had a great year. A lot of people had great years. Nobody better than Bryan Danielson because he's the best wrestler in the world today. Jade Cargill had a great year. Charlotte Flair had a great year. Becky Lynch had a great year. Bianca Belair had the year of her career, right? This is the year of Bianca.
She did. Could have ended better.
Yeah, but, still, from where she started in... at the beginning of the year to where she ended, she won the Rumble, she main evented WrestleMania, she became the champion, pretty big year. It started off really well, but she had a good run, and up until SummerSlam, and since the summer, it's been, not so great, but huge year for Bianca Belair. Huge year. So, yeah. A lot of big things happen in pro wrestling this year. And, of course, CM Punk and Bryan Danielson going to AEW got to be the stories of the year, especially CM Punk and his return after 7 years away, making the debut. He's had some of the best promos this year, some of the best matches this year, and his reemergence into AEW was probably the biggest story in pro wrestling all year.
Again, so many things happened. Like Punk, that's also a big thing. But to go back through every little thing, it would take a lot of time, which we don't have tonight.
No, we don't have all the time in the world, but yeah, Punk, massive story. All the firings, of course, by the WWE, the fact that they released guys like Braun Strowman, guys like Bray Wyatt this year. Shocking releases. Nia Jax. Shocking releases from the WWE.
Adam Cole. Well, Adam Cole wasn't released, but they let him walk.
Yeah, they let Kyle O'Reilly walk. They didn't let Kevin Owens walk. They gave him a massive deal, and he's super rich because of it. I heard $2 to $3 million a year. Did you see that too?
2 to 3 for 3 years or something. Yeah, for
3 years. How you get it turned down? $6 to $9 million over 3 years. Can't turn that down. Be crazy.
You shouldn't.
No, it's good money. No one's gonna make that in pro wrestling. Do you think they honor the contract though, for the full 3 years?
Apparently, he's got no cut. They can't just cut him. Yeah.
They gave him that? A no cut?
Yeah.
Good for him. It's a guarantee. Well, that's awesome. Makes the deal a lot better. Because the WWE contracts are kind of like, yeah, but really? Is it really going to happen? But you get that no cut, and then you're in a much better spot. So I hope he did get that. John, that's it. That's it for us. I want to thank Doug Hepburn. He says, thanks again, guys. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Doug dropping a super chat. Harold Schneider is the super chat leader of the night, though. Harold with the big super chat. Thank you to Doug and Harold and Silent by Deadly for super chatting tonight. And thank you once again to Harold. You are the super chat leader of the night. Thank you, my friend. Angelo saying Vince doesn't include no cut in contracts. Yeah, I heard that there was no no-cut deal. I don't know where you're seeing that. I had not heard that. I didn't see that there was a no-cut in Kevin's deal. I thought he, just had a regular WWE deal.
I'll look through it again, but that's what I had heard. Like, I had also heard Vince doesn't like to have it, so the fact that Kevin got it is kind of amazing. But again, that's what I heard. Did I actually see the contract? No, I did not. So I'm just taking off the rumors that I had heard. But
well, according to Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer, his new contract does not include a no-cut clause, which means he could be released at any time by the company. Apparently, the deal's for 3 years, an estimated $2 to $3 million a year. But he could still be released at a moment's notice. There is no no-cut clause in the contract, according to Dave Meltzer. So maybe you have other information, John, but according to what I can find right now, there is not a no-cut, so he could be released. So not as nice. But why would they release him? He's a top talent, right?
Well, also, you just signed him. I mean, kind of weird for them to do that, but I mean,
well, they did it to the Good Brothers.
So
they did it to the Good Brothers,
right?
That's where we kind of get the precedent, right? They signed a massive contract. Triple H told them, like, I want to secure the future of your families. I care about you guys. They were set for life.
Was it Paul Heyman or somebody said that?
I think it was Triple H. And then Heyman didn't like them, I think, and got them fired, according to what they were saying. All sorts of weird stuff. Yeah. So, WWE contracts aren't great because they could release you at any point. It happens. All right. That's it. I will be back here tomorrow night 8 p.m. Eastern Time with Freddie and AJ. We'll be talking MMA. There's no UFC now for like 3 weeks. I have no idea what we'll talk about. Probably Twitter beefs. John Jones, Twitter beefing. Conor McGregor, Twitter beefing.
It's not the airing of grievances tomorrow? I thought that it was that episode.
Well, yeah, it's our Festivus episode as well. I'll be airing grievances, doing test of strength. No tinsel. I find it distracting. Okay? So, Festivus special of Ringside Report MMA tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Check us out tomorrow. We will be there. Okay? And then Johnny and
send your grievances.
Yeah, send your grievances to AJ at AJ Delesio. I will be back tomorrow night. Johnny and I will not be on Friday night because it's Christmas Eve. So there's no Friday night show, even though WWE, I think, is still doing a Smackdown, which is crazy.
They taped it already from last week. Remember we thought it felt taped?
Yeah, I can't imagine it'll be good. So I don't even know if I'll watch SmackDown, which will be nice. A nice Christmas break for me without having to watch SmackDown. So we won't be on Friday or next Friday because next Friday will also be New Year's Eve. But Johnny and I always here Wednesday nights for the Dynamite show. And we'll be back again next Wednesday night after Dynamite at 10 p.m. Eastern. And I'll be on after Raw on Monday. Raw in Detroit coming up on Monday night on the 27th. And then we got WWE Day 1 coming up on January 1st. We'll be doing the post-show for that. And we should probably do a Day 1 preview, John. So maybe at some point we'll do that before Day 1. Okay?
Good to know. Just let me know.
Maybe we'll do it on the Raw post-show on the 27th. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, that's it. That's all. I'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern for Ringside Report MMA. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Harold Schneider, you are the Super Chat leader of the night. Angelo's letting you do it. Angelo's not dropping a Super Chat tonight. It's Harold time. Thank you, Harold. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.